Today's video, we're going to go over shoulder mobility. Because of the sport with hockey, we're bent down, our shoulders are rolled forward, and so over time that can just cause that internal rotation. So not only are we going to get that in our sport, you kind of think of everyday life. So if you're a student athlete, you're sitting at your desk, same thing, rolled forward, doesn't put the shoulder joint in the most optimal position, and then when we get onto the ice, because it's a contact sport, we have a greater chance of a shoulder injury, whether that's a separation or maybe a rotator cuff muscle tear. So today we're going to work on our mobility to get those shoulders set back into their nice strong position. So first what we're going to do here is trigger release on that pec minor. So we want to get a yoga block and some type of ball. Use a tennis ball, lacrosse ball. I have a baseball here. Tennis balls are a little bit softer, so if you're really tight through that muscle, you're going to want to use a tennis ball. And if you want to get that ball to dig in a little bit deeper, grab something that's a little bit harder. So you're going to grab your ball, your yoga block, you're going to get down on the ground. So you want to place the ball on top of the yoga block, and then you want to get that ball right into the muscle. So use your other hand to get on top, find that spot that's a little bit tender, and so you're going to be close to your armpit. Once that ball is in, you want to just sink into it and relax as best as you can. It will be a little bit discomforting, and that's the feedback of the muscles a little tight. So as it starts to feel better, as you start to get that release, you can start to go through some ranges. So holding that ball in place, you can go up into a press. So it's going to change the length of those tissues. So those muscle fibers are lengthening as you do that. And then you come through different ranges. We'll get that ball to dig in a little bit better, which will allow for a greater release of that pec minor. So once you've done both sides for 60 seconds, toss that off to the side. The next thing you want to grab is a foam roller. So the other muscle, when tight, that big lat muscle that sits here, and then one of your rotator cuff muscles, your teres major, they attach into, once again, that shoulder joint. And if they're tight, they're going to pull down and once again dump that shoulder forward. So we're going to want to release that. So you're going to take your roller and you're going to get it up into this position here. And when we're on that, we're just going to pulsate back and forth and then go through some shoulder mobility, some shoulder movement as we're on it. So get your roller. You're going to get down, find that spot. So I'm right in that muscle, and I'm just going to pulsate back and forth, and I'm going to rotate backwards as I do that, and then I'm going to come forward as well. So just nice and smooth. As that starts to feel better, then I'll stop and I'll go through some active release. So I'm going through the range I'm trying to find, so I'm getting these tissues to release a little bit so I can have greater range. Spend about a minute to 2 minutes going up and down, and then about 10 to 15 forward backwards with the shoulder. Once you've done both sides there, the next thing you want to do is you want to get some strength to those muscles. So we want to apply some strength. A lot of times muscles will be tight because they're a little bit weak, and so if we can apply some strength to them, then they can sit at a greater resting length so that we can have more range through our joint. So you want to grab a band. You're going to place that band around your wrists. You want to set your shoulders down and back, elbows slightly off. So I'm nice and locked. I want to make sure my ribs stay tucked, and then I'm going to open up and hold this. I want to hold this for about 30 seconds as I want to get those muscles to work really hard, and they're going to get a little fatigued, but we're trying to get them stronger, so we have to hold it for a good duration. Once I've held for 30 seconds, now we want to look to gain some range. So we're going to use a wall because we want what's called kinesthetic feedback. We want feedback from the wall so I know I'm in the right position. So this isn't a wall sit. I'm just going to get myself comfortably against the wall. My head is flat, my mid back is flat, and my low back. So all those contact points are touching the wall. From here, that same position I have with the band, I'm going to get my arms there, and from here I want to go through some external rotation, trying to keep my forearms parallel with the ground. And that feedback is everything stays in contact. If I start to hunch over or my arms come off, I know I'm not gaining that range in that shoulder joint. Going through those exercises, so we have the pec release with the yoga block and the ball. It can be lacrosse ball, tennis ball, baseball. Then we want to get on the roller, release through lat, teres major, those two muscles that attach into the shoulder there. Once we've done the soft tissue work, then we want to apply some strength. So we're doing our banded holds for 30 seconds. And then once we have all that accomplished and completed, then we get against the wall and then we actually start to get some range into our shoulders. So if you find yourself with tight shoulders, they're kind of rolled forward, run through those exercises and you'll feel way better. If you like this video, please subscribe for more great videos to help you become a better hockey player on the ice.